Have you ever stopped to think about how much of your life is controlled by money? Not just the things you buy or the bills you pay, but the choices you make, the opportunities you chase, and the things you sacrifice without even realizing. It is a question we rarely ask, yet it shapes everything we do. Today, we are going to dive into the hidden ways money influences our lives, ways that go beyond simple economics. We are going to uncover how money dictates the jobs we take, the relationships we build, even our perception of who we are. And by the end of this video, you may never look at money or your life the same way again. Let's start with a simple question. How many of your life choices are genuinely your own? It is tempting to think that you have full control, choosing your career, where you live, and who you spend time with. But look closer, and a different picture emerges. Many of our choices are shaped, not by dreams or desires, but by the financial realities we face. As Tony Robbins once said, we are not made to survive, we are made to thrive. Yet, for many, the need to survive financially takes priority over any personal ambitions or dreams. Picture a recent college graduate full of hope and ideas, ready to make a difference. But with rent and bills looming, all those dreams often take the back seat. Instead of pursuing your passion, you settle for a secure job, telling yourselves, I will do what I love later. But for many, later never arrives. Or think of someone deep into their career who once imagined they'd be doing something creative or impactful. Yet, as time goes on, mortgages, family obligations, and lifestyle choices pile up, trapping them in the cycle of earning to keep up. You might daydream about a different path, but financial pressures keep you in place. As John Lennon famously put it, life is what happens while you are busy making other plans. The writer Oscar Wilde once remarked, when I was young, I thought that money was the most important thing in life. Now that I am old, I know that it is. For many, money has a way of dictating life's trajectory, shaping career paths, relationships, and even self-worth. It becomes the silent compass steering decisions, even when we are unaware of it. Consider how often we stay in jobs, not because they fulfill us, but because they pay well or offer stability. Imagine a tech professional who once dreamt of changing the world, but feels caught in a job they don't love. We rationalize it by saying, it's just until I save enough to pursue my dreams. But time passes, responsibilities increase, and the exit doors seem further away. In reality, the freedom to choose can feel like an illusion when financial pressures are at play. Ask yourself, if money didn't matter, would you still be making the same choices? Or would you be pursuing a life that feels more authentic to who you are? If there is one thing most of us are after, it is security. For a lot of people, money feels like the key to a safe life. The promise of having a roof over your head, food on the table, and a way to take care of the people you love. But there is a twist. The pursuit of financial security can end up feeling like a trap, keeping us from actually living. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, in the long run, we shape our lives, and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility. Imagine someone who's grinding away at a job they don't love, telling themselves that security is just around the corner. They're saving, budgeting, putting in extra hours, all in the name of future freedom. But every time they think they have reached that milestone, something else comes up. A new expense, a financial setback, or just the feeling that it is never quite enough. Suddenly, the goal of working to live transforms into living to work. That freedom we were hoping for. It just keeps moving further down the road. Or think of a young couple saving up to buy their first home. They skip vacations, work overtime, cut back on everything just to make it happen. But once they get that house, a new reality kicks in. Mortgage payments, home maintenance, rising costs. Now, instead of bringing peace, that financial security comes with a whole new set of pressures. As the Dalai Lama once said, man sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. Then there are those who seem to have it all, the nice car, the big house, the impressive job title. But even they are not immune. The more they earn, the more they feel they have to keep earning to protect what they have. Will Rogers captured this perfectly by saying, too many people spend money they haven't earned, to buy things they don't want, to impress people they don't like. It is this cycle where security starts to feel like an endless chase and real freedom gets left behind. And here's the real paradox. No matter how much we save or plan, security can always be shaken. A sudden market crash, a health emergency, a global crisis, things like these can turn even the most stable life upside down. Financial security might give us comfort, but it is still fragile, always just one disaster away from unraveling. But money's influence doesn't stop at work or security. It shapes our relationships in ways we might not always realize. Let's be honest, money impacts how we view each other. It touches our friendships, family dynamics, and even romantic relationships. When money enters the equation, we often fall short of reaching for our true values, and instead we settle for what feels safe financially, even if it means compromising deeper connections. Money can change the power dynamics in relationships, where one person's income becomes the silent ruler of the household or the friendship, often creating feelings of dependency or worse, inequality. We all know that when it comes to our social circles, we tend to gravitate toward people who are in similar financial situations. As the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. We find comfort in being surrounded by others who understand our lifestyle, our struggles, and our joys. But this often limits the range of perspectives we encounter. When someone outside our financial bracket enters our world, it can create an unspoken divide, an invisible line that separates those with more and those with less. And as much as we try to deny it, money often becomes a way we measure people. You are what you have is an attitude many of us unconsciously adopt. We judge success, worth, and even happiness through the lens of financial status, forgetting that true value is about far more than a bank balance. In the words of Albert Einstein, not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. Yet we continue to place importance on what we can measure, the material, the visible, at the cost of understanding the deeper qualities that truly make someone rich in life. So, is it even possible to escape the grip that money seems to have over our lives? It's a complex question. Money will always be part of society. There is no escaping that. But what if the key isn't to escape it, but to change how we see it? Instead of treating money as the ultimate goal, what if we viewed it simply as a tool, a way to create value, to help others, and to live in alignment with what we truly care about? When money stops being the destination and starts being the vehicle, it loses some of its control over us, and we start to gain a little of our freedom back. Think about it. What do you actually value? What kind of life would you want if money wasn't the focus? Maybe it's not about a bigger house or a better car, but about more time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or just having the peace of mind to enjoy the present moment. As Henry David Thoreau once said, wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Consider, too, the idea from Seneca. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. If money becomes just one tool among many, we can start asking different questions. Are we happy? Are we fulfilled? Are we living according to our values? Or are we just working for a number in the bank account? When we shift our perspective this way, money begins to serve us, rather than the other way around. We start focusing less on what we don't have and more on what we truly want to create in life. And maybe that's the first step to finding freedom from its control. At the end of the day, money will always hold some power, but the extent of its control over your life is a choice only you can make. By peeling back the layers and understanding how money influences us, we gain a kind of freedom, the awareness to choose intentionally. Maybe we can't rewrite the rules of a world built on money, but we can rethink our own rules. We can decide to value experiences over possessions, people over transactions, and self-worth over net worth. And when we do that, money starts to fall into place, not as a master, but as a tool. So here's the question to sit with. What kind of life would you lead if money didn't call the shots? What passions, relationships, or adventures would come first? In the end, you're the one who decides how much space money takes up in your life. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?